Some time ago, several people published videos about why days were getting shorter. On June 29, 2022, the Earth completed its rotation 1.59 milliseconds faster than the expected 24 hours. It is not really a surprise that the rotation of the Earth is not exactly 24 hours. What surprised many people is that the rotation was faster instead of slower. Over millions of years, the Earth's rotation has been slowing down, making the days longer, not shorter. But for some reason, during the last 50 years, some days have been shorter instead of longer than 24 hours. Scientists have some ideas of why we have experienced some shorter days lately, but the important point for me is that no matter if the day is shorter or longer, everyone on the planet has exactly the same amount of time as everyone else. And time is very important because the way we use time has a profound impact on the chances of success of your business and its capacity to generate income. And to succeed as a business owner, you will need to ensure the business income becomes detached from your time. That means the business must eventually run effectively without your being there all the time. How long do you think your business could operate effectively if you're not there? Could the business survive for a week, a month, a year? The reality is that many business owners are metaphorically married to their businesses. More than a business, the business has become a place where the owner goes to work. And while giving your heart and soul to your business is perfectly normal at the beginning, when you are just starting and growing the business, this is not something that should continue forever. At some point, the owner must be able to enjoy the fruits of the business without having to exchange their own time for money. The question the business owner needs to answer is how to automate and systematize the business so it can operate while the owner is absent. The goal is to disconnect your time from the business income. If you could work 10 hours a week and earn $70,000 a year, or work 70 hours a week for $140,000 a year, which option would you choose? The answer to that question may indicate if you're ready to own the business or if the business owns you. If you want to liberate yourself from the business, you must be willing to set aside a little bit of time to carry out entrepreneurial and managerial tasks. You may think you are busy enough as it is, but unless you're willing to allow the entrepreneur and the manager within you to come out and take their rightful places in the business, you will always own a job and not a business. Some time ago, after I gave a talk at one of the industry conferences, a grower came to talk to me about what I have shared in my presentation. He said that he has noticed some successful farms always look so neat and tidy, and he wondered if he needed to do the same to improve his farm. I explained to him that bringing order to a farm was an important role of the manager, and that he had to allow that part of his personality, the manager personality, to come out and systematize the whole operation. As his farm is on the other side of the country, we agreed we would meet once a month over the internet for an hour to work on systematizing his operation. I thought that if he could not commit to an hour a month, he was not ready to begin the process. After the first session, the grower insisted we should meet twice a month so the systems project could progress at a faster pace. I agreed. So we now meet twice a month for an hour each time. The two areas he wanted to tackle first was the lack of information to determine which part of the operation were profitable and which ones were not. The other area that really annoyed him was that tools were always missing when needed, and that sometimes it was quicker just to buy new tools rather than trying to find the lost ones. This grower was not keeping any records that would allow him to calculate the cost of production at all, so obviously we needed to create some type of record that would allow him to capture relevant information. I knew that eventually the business would need to adopt software to capture and analyze the relevant information, But it is always better to walk first before we attempt to run, so we agreed on a simple record that we would test on one of the production blocks. The record was designed to capture the date of the activity carried out, the block number, the activity number, and the task number. As there were several activities and tasks, we decided to give each activity and task a code number so the record could be completed faster. The record also included the number of people involved, start time, and finish time. That information allowed us to calculate the total time it takes to complete all activities and tasks. That information is essential to determine the cost of production and therefore the profitability of the production block. Now, some of you may think this record is quite simple and basic, but for this business, this simple record represents the first step towards a much better future. One where the business owner will have a better understanding of the cost of production, and one where the business will be automated and systematized. And all that with just a couple of hours a month dedicated to working on the business rather than in the business. Those 2 hours a month will become the best invested time for this grower at this stage. How many hours a month do you set aside to work on your business, to automate it and to systematize it? If you do not spend at least a couple of hours a month working on your business, don't you think it is just about time you did?